Hi, my name is Dan Reyes-Hildel. Firstly, I want you to imagine a scene with blue skies, one or two clouds floating lazily through the sky. There's a pond, it's clear, there are ducks, there are geese, and there are several hundred cows comfortably grazing, getting exercise, and living happy lives. Now I want you to imagine a different scene, a bleaker scene, one where there are thousands of cows from horizon to horizon, where they live in small confined areas, where they stink and they are just pooping where they live, where these cows know that they were born so that they can become food for other people. Both these scenes exist in the United States. I think that if we increase the price of beef, we can end that second scene. I've been a vegetarian for many years, and I feel very passionate about this subject. I think that if we increase the price of beef, we can improve the lifestyles of the average American, we can increase the lives of farmers and the economy, and we can help save the environment. This is not a call to veganism. This is not intended to vilify the meat industry. This is a proposed solution to a problem with the American diet, the economy, and the environment. First, according to a study by BMJ, the consumption of meat leads to higher risk of dying from one of 8 diseases: cancer, heart disease, stroke, respiratory disease, diabetes, infections, kidney disease, and chronic liver disease. Second, it's obvious that Americans have a problem with meat consumption. Americans are eating too much meat. Think about your diet today. You probably had meat for breakfast, you probably had meat for lunch, you're probably going to have a larger piece of meat for dinner. The American Institute for Cancer Research recommends less than 510 grams of cooked red meat a day. 510 grams. You're probably pushing that within 1 or 2 days of your normal lifestyle. What I'm proposing is the price of increase of beef will hopefully get Americans to buy less meat, or beef specifically. My belief is that this will get Americans to think outside the box, to try different styles of diet, or to consider eating leaner meats. Second, the farmer and the economy. You might think that I'm trying to ruin the meat industry by suggesting that we decrease the amount of beef being produced. I don't think that's true. So how does this improve the lives of ranchers and the economy? If you look at examples like Japan, where they produce well-known Kobe beef that is hundreds of dollars by the pound, you'll know that this is only a regionally sourced beef that comes from a specific location in Japan, where the capital city is called Kobe. This beef is raised with very traditional agricultural traditions, and I think that we can mimic these things in America, much like the American wine industry, where we started to create wine that can compete on the global scale. You might also be thinking that I'm trying to limit the amount of workers in these areas, that if we're producing less beef, we have less workers, now more people are out of work. But according to the Beef magazine, there are already 1,200 cows per worker. So if we can decrease the amount of cattle that we're raising, the American farmer can work harder to raise a better quality meat instead of pushing as much product out as possible that they know is going to fill superstores and restaurants. I'm trying to improve the quality of meat that the American consumer ingests so that we are healthier people and that these farmers have easier, more prosperous lives. Also, it will free up lots of land that will probably still be owned by the farmers. This land can be used for other industries like solar or wind power, or simply to preserve the American landscape. Lastly, the environment. 51% of greenhouse emissions comes from the cattle industry. That's 3 times the amount of all transportation. That means trucks, cars, trains, planes, shipment, and freight. 3 times that amount is how much greenhouse emissions come from cattle. Just to put it in perspective, a vegan cuts their own personal carbon footprint in half. If we can even eliminate some of the meat that we ingest, we could be cutting a quarter out of our personal carbon footprints. Also, 45% of the earth is covered in livestock. 45%, that's almost half of the earth. 50% of the world's grains are used to feed this livestock. That means that half of the food we grow goes to feeding the animals that we plan on ingesting. We could produce 36,625 more pounds of food per acre than we are currently producing per acre for the sake of cows. Cows only produce about 375 pounds per acre of food. Again, 36,000 pounds of food. Other negative impacts of food in using meat. 91% of the Amazon has been cleared or destroyed for the use of livestock. 1/3 of the Earth's fresh water goes to feeding livestock. That's 1/3 of the Earth's fresh water. We're constantly hearing about a water shortage, when 1/3 of it is going to feed livestock that we ingest in a way that is unhealthy. 110 species become extinct every single day because of deforestation due to the need for more land for livestock. Therefore, I believe that if we increase the price of beef, Americans will eat less red meat, their lives will be healthier and happier, the economy will improve, farmers' lives will become easier, and the environment will significantly change in a positive direction. Also, I need to state that beef is largely consumed in the United States. All of these facts, except for the facts about the Amazon and how much water is being consumed on a global scale, affect the United States directly. All the other facts include how the beef world affects the entire world. Thank you for listening.